Hey chums, welcome to a very well, I wouldn't say special video, but it's a big story, and here at the Game of Chums we like to keep on top of these things. Um, Xbox, or specifically Microsoft, have made another huge acquisition. The acquisition in is Activision Blizzard, and I believe the acquisition was something in the region of 68.7 billion
Something in the region of
dollars.
this exact amount.
Yeah, is that the exact amount? Is it?
Yeah.
I actually thought it was like, I didn't think that. I was like, is it there? I was, because I knew it was in that region, but I didn't know I was specifically that amount of money. But yeah, Microsoft have gone and done it again. They've done it again.
Uncle
They've
Phil be out here dropping checks.
they've purchased another large developer publisher.
Publisher.
They just
Mega publisher.
mega publisher. And if you don't know, which I think you do, if you're into the gaming culture, they publish games like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. And that's just the big ones. I'm pretty sure there are definitely others as well. But
Oh yeah. You've got like Tony Hawk's, Crash, Spyro, all that stuff as well.
so this is
Tons of stuff.
this is huge news. I remember when you sent me a WhatsApp message saying it's a rumor, like about a rumor going around that Microsoft were going to buy Activision, and both me and you were a bit skeptical of this of the tweet that you sent.
Well, let's
But
be honest, it sounds absurd.
mm,
It is absurd. This is a complete lump. This is just
mhm.
absurd.
This is absurd. It's Do you think it's different than how it was when they bought Bethesda, or
I
like?
mean, in monetary terms, it's 10 times as much.
Mhm.
And I mean, Bethesda were big too. Like they've got big sellers. Fallout and Elder Scrolls do big numbers, not Call of Duty numbers, but then very few things do. But
Mhm.
Bethesda was pretty big. Um, although I suppose with Bethesda you've got, like I say, Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and then everything else does a fair bit less. Like a lot of Arcane's games rate very highly, but then sell quite poorly. So Bethesda were kind of carried by those two things, whereas Activision have got a lot of bigger stuff as well. But
Yeah,
really, they are the Call of Duty people.
they are indeed, and Call of Duty is huge, man. It might have been on a slight decline in quality wise for their last few entries, but it still does quite big numbers. And World of Warcraft, before Final Fantasy took it over, online took it over, it was the biggest MMO of all time. It still does really good numbers. It's just Final Fantasy has
It's just everyone's mad about it.
yeah, everyone's mad about it. But
Everything they do pisses their player base off.
yeah, and so they got Overwatch, which has a huge competitive esports scene as well. So that's, and they got Candy Crush as well. So that's
Yeah, we didn't even mention King. They own King as well. Makes a Candy Crush.
So that's got their mobile gaming division covered as well. And but yeah, it's crazy. Like I didn't know that Activision was seeking buyers. So it just came out of nowhere, because the Bethesda thing that was been building, that rumor's been building for like a couple of weeks before they made it official. A lot of
Yeah,
people.
Bethesda fully came out of nowhere.
Mm.
There's
But there was slight rumors though. I know there was like rumblings of like Microsoft were looking to
Microsoft are going to
purchase.
spend some money.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were looking to purchase, and then Bethesda's name popped up.
I don't remember anyone mentioning Bethesda. People have had mentioned here and there over the last sort of 5 years that Bethesda might want to sell.
Yeah, but
But
it was on Twitter that I saw it, because like with Twitter, like it's like Twitter's a good place for rumors, and it's also got a bad place as well for unspeculated rumors and unfounded rumors, but rumors nonetheless. So I unfortunately I do spend a bit of time on Twitter just for our to promote our YouTube channel. But yeah, I saw some words getting thrown around, some really crazy, like developers were getting thrown in there, like Sega and Square Enix and stuff like that. But yes, now they've added another huge name to their portfolio there, which I have to say, I when that was confirmed, I had to say that I wasn't overly pleased. I didn't really think Xbox needed to buy Activision for 70 billion. It's just that alone is just
wrap your
crazy.
head around that amount.
Yeah, it's just I don't think they needed them, because buying they've got what 24, 23 studios
23
now
beforehand.
Yeah.
Now I think they're at 32 with this, which is just insane.
It's crazy, and it's going to be a lot of problems. Like what's your initial reaction? Let's like what do you think?
Well, you mentioned that tweet that I sent you, which I think was someone. It was either someone at the New York Times or someone at the Wall Street Journal, just sort of like tweeted out they heard rumblings that this was happening, and I sent it to you, and we were both like, oh, I hope this isn't true. We were both quite negative about it, and then literally 5 minutes later, it was official.
It's official.
So it came out. This like completely came out of nowhere. It's not like people whispers and teasing about it for a while. It's literally the first rumblings, and then like 5 minutes later, if that, it was official. And I was following the Xbox thread on Reset Era as well, and when that dropped in there, loads of people were like, "Oh no, I hope this isn't true. I don't want Activision associated with Xbox." And I think that was like kind of a similar sort of thought process you and me had, because obviously they've got a lot of issues at the moment, widespread allegations of employee abuse and all kinds of nasty stuff. I don't think Xbox need to saddle themselves with that, but also there are acquisitions that would excite me a lot more. Like, I don't really play anything that Activision makes, so it doesn't kind of move the needle for me, even if like it's, I mean, I'm sure we can both agree. I think everyone can agree that it is absolutely insane. It's like it's probably the biggest gaming news ever, quite honestly, because they're the biggest third-party publisher, and Xbox just went out and bought them.
I mean, like, come on, like, you bought Bethesda. Isn't that enough for you? Now they had to go one up themselves in 2022. Go, well, since the start of a new year, let's buy this big developer. So yeah, it's like I say, I didn't think they needed to get them. I didn't see the games lists on there. They're big games, but none of them I've never played Overwatch. I rarely play Call of Duty. I don't think I played one since Call of Duty 2 or 3. Haven't played Diablo. Don't play World of Warcraft. I played Tony Hawk, but I think they should. I kind of wanted them to. We spoke about this on our podcast, that develop the purchasing studios in Japan. I think they would have been better looking at that, like maybe going after, but see if Sega were willing to sell or something like that. Something that sort of diversifies what they have at the moment, because it's the studios they have are great, but I don't see adding Activision to their Xbox studio ecosystem benefits them that much. Just because a lot of the games that they got, they have games that already cover some of those games, those games that the studios they purchased. You know what I mean? Like they have their shooters. Do you know what I mean? They have their sort of.
Now they got pretty much all the shooters.
Yeah, I don't know. But I could see why they bought them, because they expand, because Game Pass is doing so well. It's doing really well. They want to add more to that Game Pass to make it more attractive, to entice more subscribers. Because I've seen a lot of people. I see a couple of videos. I watched a Happy Video Game. Is it just a video gamer? Happy Video Game
Console Gamer.
Happy Console Gamer. The blonde guy, nice guy. Seems like a cuddly sort of chap. He
Johnny Millennium.
He says that he's a bit worried about where this is going because it's going to be a subscription-based service in the future. He thinks that Xbox are looking to sort of erase consoles and physical media, and it will just be purely like online, physical. Do you know what I mean? Like just digital, which it could possibly be. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that because they'll lose quite a lot if they did do that.
Yeah, I watched it too. I don't agree with them. I think we could have a whole chat about that, but fundamentally, I don't think they're going to remove an option. They seem to be more about giving options.
Yeah. He said that there's two, like even with PlayStation, there's a digital and a physical one. Yeah, but it just gives people options. Some people don't want the physical like games and stuff like that. I sort of gone more into the digital sort of realm, but I still like the option to buy. But yeah, that's this sort of getting like beyond the point. It's just like a lot of people who are not Xbox fans are not happy because I can see what they think. The thing is, I don't think Call of Duty will go exclusive to Xbox. I
think we're going to be having this discussion for the next year.
I don't know. I don't think it will though. I don't know. It's just I can't see that happening. Like with Bethesda's games, yeah, that's going to happen. But with something like Call of Duty, with its huge fan base, huge game player base, I don't see that happening. But if it didn't go exclusive, I wouldn't be too bothered because I don't really play it anyway. I would prefer everyone to play it on other platforms. But I don't know. Like I don't see that they're spending 70 billion just to have it released on other platforms. But again, I don't know. Yeah, it's just out of all the games that the Activision do, I can see them all going first party. But Call of Duty, I can see them making an exception, sort of like what they've done with Minecraft, because they actually own Minecraft, but they allow it to be on other platforms. So that's what I think. I could be wrong. I don't see the benefit of it, of having it exclusive. But then again, what do I know?
Well, I think the benefit is pushing people to buy an Xbox because
or PC or get on
PC. Yeah, or PC. But I think there is a large audience of probably around 200 million console gamers out there, and they want to capture as much of that as they can because everyone that buys a console is like the sale of the console doesn't really make them any money. It's all the licensing fees from all the third-party games. So every transaction made on a console, Sony or Microsoft get 30% of it. Every game that's sold, physical or digital, Sony or Microsoft get 30% of that. So that's where the value is in being a platform holder, is having 30% of every single transaction on that platform going straight into your bank. So I think they will make them exclusive. What I think they'll do, what I think they might do anyway, is leave Warzone cross-platform, big battle royale, but then make the new Call of Duties every year exclusive. Because then they kind of get a bit of the best of both. And obviously Warzone is already launched across multiple platforms, and if they're going to just have that be its own thing, I can't really take it away at this point. It's kind of a bit of a mess to try and take it away from people, especially if they've spent money in microtransactions and stuff like that. That just wouldn't be fair. But I think going forward, probably not until Call of Duty 2024, I would think, because the deal was expected to close in financial year 23, so that's between July this year and June next year. So somewhere in that region, the deal will close. But assuming it closes in 2023, I think they'll just the next Call of Duty next year, 2023, will still be on PlayStation. But I think after that, I can't really see it. I don't see why you spend 70 billion and then just keep giving your games to the competition. Honestly,
do you?
But you said,
yeah, carry on, go on.
Yeah, but you said a lot of people on PlayStation are going to be upset, and as we said, we talked about the Bethesda acquisition when that happened, and we said the same thing there. And just as I said there, and that I'm sure you agreed with, people will have a right to be upset about it. Like, no one should be getting at people for being upset about losing out on games that they were previously expecting to get. People have a right to be upset about it.
Yeah. I mean, like Bethesda, Activision were looking to sell because they actually approach Facebook first, and Facebook didn't want anything to do with that, because like you said, they've Activision's work practices has taken, it's coming to the light and it's not looking good. So, and I remember Phil Spencer he was asked about their working relationship with Activision, and he said, well, we have to see, because things have to change. I didn't know he was going to go out, they were going to go out and purchase it, and then probably restaff it on those problem CEOs, and CEO probably hopefully get rid of that guy.
They're going to have to properly clean house with this to make it palatable to not just Xbox fans. I mean, obviously a lot of people aren't going to give a crap. They never do when stuff like this comes up, but equally a lot of people are going to care, and they're going to need to clean house if they want those people to accept it. But not just them, people that are already working at Xbox, like women working at Xbox, if they don't sort of go and clean this place up, are going to be thinking, well, that's why am I still here? I should probably go somewhere else. So it's not just like the publisher level executives like Bobby Kotick and all the board and everything. They need to go, and I imagine they will, because when this closes, the board of directors will be dissolved. They won't have a need for a CEO anymore, because it will be directly reporting to Phil Spencer. So I'd imagine they're all gone anyway the second it closes. But it's all the studio leadership as well that needs to be fixed. So it's going to be a hell of a lot of work to try and clear all this out. But I hope they actually commit to doing it, because it's going to leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth if they don't. If they just get rid of Bobby Kotick and then just say, yeah, job done, I don't think people are going to be happy. I won't be happy about it.
Do you think this is the last acquisition that Xbox are gonna, Microsoft are gonna make? Because I think
who the hell knows.
what happened last gen, I think really sort of struck a nerve in the higher ups. I know it did with Mr. Spencer, about the no games, no studios, which it is a fair point. They did have very
feels like now we got all the games.
Yeah. So they've taken that to heart, and they've just gone out there and just bought so many studios. Even before Bethesda, they were buying smaller studios, bringing them in, and then they brought Bethesda, and now they got Activision. And so now they've really doubled down on their promise to, and a lot of people are saying, well, why don't they just open their own studios and develop their own games? Well, they've done that, but they've also built developers as well. So yeah, it's you can't really say that Xbox has no games, but like a lot of people have criticized them for not sort of producing new IPs of their own, just having to go out and buy ready-made studios, which most studios have been around for a while, like the Naughty Dog and stuff. They just it didn't just start off with Uncharted and stuff. They were about before that, and Sony bought them. I know they probably worked exclusively on the PlayStation, because on PlayStation 1, maybe because there was no other console to rival them at that time. I don't think there was. So they had that.
My Saturn is crying right now.
Well, yeah, but they had nothing else to work with, so they worked with them. So yeah, it's not like studios just this a lot of the special, like PlayStation, their studios were about before PlayStation made them first party exclusive studios. So even like Insomniac, they recently bought them. So before that, they were making games for other platforms. But this is like a huge, like not just studios, developers as well. So publishers, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, it's unprecedented, and we said that when they bought Bethesda, it was unprecedented, and now this is like 10 times bigger. It's just, I mean, obviously everyone acquires studios, no matter how much some people might want to pretend. Some of them don't. They all do, and they all have. Equally, they've all closed studios. It's just something that happens. No one is just coming in with nothing and just starting up and like creating new startups. That just doesn't happen. So it takes too long to get going. There's no guarantee of success, and it could just end up being a money pit where you get nothing out of it. So it has to be a mix where you're starting up new stuff and you're buying established teams. That's how it goes. But Microsoft has just gone a bit nuclear of late. Like you think back to pre E3 2018, 3.5 years ago, and I think we just kind of we kind of said this in our podcast the other day, but with different numbers now. But pre 3.5 years ago, Microsoft had 5 studios. 3.5 years later, they've got 32. That's insane.
You're really doubling down with the.
Yeah. So do I think this is the last one? Honestly, I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
I know that there was
all bets are off after this. Quite frankly,
there's a joke going around on online about who's next? Ubisoft, EA, watch your back. I was like, Take-Two. I was like, I don't know about that, but you never know. I wouldn't like. There will become a point where they're going to have to stop because you can't have a monopoly like that. And I'm pretty sure that there'll be some sort of regulations or something like that to stop that happening.
I think with this, I think this will get through. But I think if they try to buy another mega publisher like straight after this, I think regulators would be stepping in and saying, "No, I don't think so, mate." I don't think there'll be an issue with this one.
I would like no more like big publishers, but some odd studios here and there. I wouldn't like get them on board. Some sort of more sort of niche games, not just shooters. I know they got the RPG side. So it's just it all goes probably to the like catering for a more sort of a diverse sort of gamer. That it makes sense if I'm not sounding too goddamn pretentious. But yeah, like just something a bit more from the bang bang shooters, which I do like a good shooter, but I wouldn't mind playing something a bit different, and maybe something developer studio that's gonna create something new, which to be fair they already have. So I'm just waiting to see what some of their other studios produce, and who knows, maybe will Xbox want Activision to develop new games, not just Call of Duty, and
this is the thing that I'm kind of I wouldn't say hopeful for, but I would like to see, because as it stands, I think they have 9 studios in total, but almost all of them, pretty much anything that isn't Blizzard, is working on Call of Duty. So you've got 3 main studios that make Call of Duty. You've got Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer. But then you've got other studios like High Moon that all they do, Raven, literally all they do is support the other teams making Call of Duty games. So I feel like if you're Microsoft and you've just signed on 9 new studios, are you going to be happy with 8 of them making one thing? Or are you going to because as it is at the moment, Call of Duty has 3-year dev cycles, right? So you got Infinity Ward game comes out 1 year, then a Treyarch game comes out the next year, then Sledgehammer the next year, and then 3 years later you got Infinity Ward again. So they're all on a 3-year cadence, but they all come out. A Call of Duty comes out every year. So I'm thinking what I'd like to see. Partially this is because I don't really care about Call of Duty, if I'm honest, and fans of the series will probably get mad at me for this. But take Sledgehammer off Call of Duty entirely, let them do whatever the hell they want, and then have Treyarch and Infinity Ward only making Call of Duty games, but give them a 4-year dev cycle. So then every 2 years you get a game from Infinity Ward or Treyarch. And then you've got Sledgehammer, and they can make whatever they want, because a lot of them were veterans from Visceral. Like some of them were people that came over from Visceral and worked on like Dead Space and stuff, and then they just got stuffed into the Call of Duty machine and let them do something else. Let Raven and High Moon and those other support studios do something else. Because I think what Microsoft are going to want is variety for Game Pass. For them, having 9 studios working on one franchise doesn't really make sense. And also, they don't need a yearly Call of Duty to carry their output in the way that Activision does. Because for Activision, that's their cash cow, and that's where they're making money. But Xbox has everything else: Halo, Forza, Gears, Elder Scrolls. So you don't really need a Call of Duty every year. So that's what I'd like to see them do: free up some of those other studios. But who knows? I think if they're going to change anything, I think it'll be a few years from now, because they're probably not going to want to rock the boat too much, because that franchise just prints money. So probably not going to want to screw with it too much to begin with.
So what do you think Sony's play going to be? Because financially, I don't think they could compete. They can't really compete with Microsoft, because Microsoft is $1 trillion company, so they're probably like, I think they're one of the richest companies in the world. Sony do quite well in gaming, but I don't think they can afford to splash out billions like on anything. So I don't know, like people want Sony to buy a developer themselves, maybe Rockstar or a Rockstar or something like that. So to get the GTA exclusive to them or something like that, or even Square Enix.
Well, if they wanted Rockstar, they'd have to buy a Take-Two, and that'd probably be about 50 or 60 billion. And I don't think they could probably manage that, but I think that would probably clean them out, and I think it would be too much risk to take on. But Sega, Square Enix, Capcom, I think they're all under 10 billion. I think Sony could honestly comfortably buy any of them. It's whether or not they feel they need to. They might feel it's more beneficial to them to just go out and sign more exclusivity contracts.
Well, yeah, they've done that already, but yeah. So I think that's all our takes on it, Mr. Ross. Have you got anything else to say about this monumental news?
Just that people are underestimating the hit this is going to have on Sony, because I've seen a lot of people like, yeah, okay, they're going to miss Call of Duty, but they'll be fine. And they'll be fine, but this is a huge hit. Like that franchise brings tons of money into PlayStation through not just game sales, but all the microtransactions and everything as well. That's probably making billions for Sony, and that's going to be gone overnight. So people that are trying to downplay it, it's not going to be the death of Sony, but it is going to be a hit. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out. But
yeah,
it's mad. Basically, my final word is it's mad.
It's mad. I don't think it's just Sony that Microsoft are looking at. I think there's other competitors, especially like with Amazon and Facebook on the horizon. They're probably looking at that and they want to keep them out of the picture. That's what I think. So I think, yeah, they're rivals, but it's not just them that they're worried about. It's, look, Amazon have been looking into gaming, Facebook, and they do have the money to compete with Microsoft and be a real big competitor. So I think since Microsoft Xbox have a platform, they have an established console, unlike Facebook and Amazon.
Google.
Google, yeah. So they want to sort of keep them out of it at the moment. It's sort of like build their ecosystem, especially with the online gaming, the streaming like services that are going to probably start being more predominant in the next few years. So that's what I think. I think they're thinking like big brain sort of thing.
2 steps ahead.
Yeah, and going, well, take all these ones.
I agree with you, because like we've seen, like Facebook are getting into VR more than sort of traditional gaming, I guess. So maybe they aren't quite the threat that we might have assumed they were a few years ago. especially given Bobby Kotick apparently approached Facebook and they said no.
They told him to go and F off, Bobby.
Go,
we've already got one weird bloody CEO. We don't need another one. Get out of here.
God, could you imagine that team up, Kotick and Zuckerberg? But yeah, like they're getting into VR heavily. So you could make a case for them having wanted to buy Activision. Google have Stadia. They've since kind of backed off owning their own studios, but a year or two ago, they might have gone for this. Amazon to have is it Luna, their platform, and obviously they're in Twitch, and they've got a handful of game studios and they're trying to break their way in. Any one of them wants to establish themselves instead of kind of like just playing around on the edges. You buy Activision, you're established. You don't need to mess around like acquiring a load of small studios and then trying to figure it out. You just buy Activision, just rebrand them, and then you're in. So yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think Microsoft probably, this was as much defensive play.
I definitely think
against big tech companies as much as it is like a shot across Sony's bow. I mean, it is both, but I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So another massive acquisition by Microsoft, and it's left the whole gaming community, not just the gaming community. I think like it's left a massive impression, and who knows what's going to be the future. Xbox are really like, I'm glad they're doubling down on on their gaming side, like really pushing Xbox, and that sort of like really pushing like Game Pass. As much as
certainly can't say they're half-arsing it anymore.
Yeah, as much people might not like it, I love it, and but people are worried that's going to be the future. Possibly it could be. I think it's going to be more. It's probably going to be the future, but I still think they are going to produce more. They are still going to produce physical games. It's just like with like Valve and stuff like that, it's proven that it's possible. But yeah, so who knows, man? Look, let's see what this year brings us, because it's already started off with a bang. So yeah, I think
we're halfway through January, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, come on, man. Phil, slow down. Give us a moment, man. Just chill for a minute. But yeah, so I think we're gonna leave that there, and yeah, that's our thoughts on it. Ultimately, do we think it's a good thing for Xbox?
Time will tell.
For Xbox, it's a huge thing. It's a really good thing. The taste of last gen for Microsoft, I think that really stung. Like last words, I think that really stung them. How that went. It really, they're like an elephant. They just never forget. So they just took all that on and just went, right, okay. Where's the
internalized it all?
Yeah. Where's the reserve money? Let's go out and do it. Small change to you, Bill, but come on, let's go. But okay, I think we're going to leave it there. That was our thoughts on it, our reactions to the Activision Blizzard purchase. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this video. I hope you like our thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, down there. Are we right? Are we wrong? Are we a bunch of like Xbox shills? Please tell us. Let us know. So
why not? Because they don't give us anything. We'd take it if they did.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again if Xbox makes another purchase. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.